we have created an awesome lead capture form within NoCode-X. And within this video, I want to show you the lead capture form that we created and exactly how we created it within NoCode-X. So you can create your own. So let's dive in. So this is the form that we've created. As you can see, it has a nice look and feel. It has some animation in the background and it has several questions. We have a logo on top and we have a button to try out NoCode-X on the top again. So all the questions you can just answer. Some of the question, if you answer a certain choice or you click on other, for example, you have to answer another separate questions. For example, here, I'll have to answer what other no-code platforms that I have been using. So I'll just answer NoCode-X. Some questions have a little bit of guidance on what the answers mean. And if I hit the next button right here, that I am moved to the next page, I can again answer the questions. And if I hit the submit button right here, that I move to the thank you page where I am thanked for giving my information and for giving my data. So that's the form. Let's dive in how it was built. So first of all, we created a page. So the page that we created is called Enterprise or Questionnaire Enterprise and Questionnaire Enterprise 2. And of course, we also have the success page. So the first page is pretty simple. It contains a template, which is actually a navigation, which is actually navigation coming from the Navigations plugin. This plugin has been installed and I used one of the navigations that are in there to create this, top navigation. I have another video on that. I won't be diving into too deep in this part. Then it has, of course, a title and it has a vertical list containing all the questions in my form. The questions contain the answers, and this checkbox question has an onChange trigger, which has an action that is showing the free input field if other no-code platforms are being selected. So let's look at that action. So this checks, this gets the value from this checkbox field and checks if platforms contains other, and if not, it shows an element. If it does, it hides an element. So if it does not contain other, it hides the question other text field. And if it does contain other, it shows the question other text field. And this question other text field, this is this field, which of course is being hidden when I do not select other, and it's being shown when I select other. So thanks to the fact that this is being executed every time this question or the answer to this question is changed, we have a nice field that will pop up whenever I check other, or well, it will disappear when I uncheck other. So that's that. All the questions here are pretty straightforward. This is another checkbox field which contains a help message, and for each answer we have a help message set up. Then of course the next button contains a little bit of a logic, and for logic we have to get back to our form just a second, but I don't know if you noticed it, but it has a request ID, and this is actually meant to pass in an identifier for the lead that we are trying to capture information from. So if you know who this lead is, for example, because you're running a campaign on email addresses, you can put the email in request ID. So this button right here moves us to the next step, but not before saving everything to the database. So what it does is it gets the value for question 1 platforms, it gets the value for question 1 other, it gets the value for question 2, and so on. So it gets all the values from the entire form, and then it starts by creating a piece of data. And the data that is created is, the name here is request ID because that's unique. The data format is questionnaire. I'll show you that data format in a second. And we start filling up the fields of that data format. Then we say questionnaire ID is questionnaire underscore ID, and we route to the second page, the questionnaire enterprise 2. We of course pass the request ID and the questionnaire ID to use in the second page as well. Let's quickly look at the questionnaire data format real quick, and all it has is the answers that I can retrieve from my form. So it has a question 1 platforms, which is a list, of course, because you can have multiple platforms that you use. Question 1 other, which is a piece of text file, a piece of text input, and then question 2 is a list again, and so on and so on. So for each question, there is a field in my data format. Of course, I also have a field request ID and I have a field mail. And so once you move to the second part, to the second page, it's basically the same. So let me show you the second page right here, like this. It's basically the same. We have a title, we have a vertical list, we have some answers, and we have a submit button. Now the submit button is again a button that has an on-click action, and this one actually does the same. It fetches all the data from the form, but before it does that, it gets the data from the database. It can do that because we've passed questionnaire ID as a parameter to this form. So simple, you all know parameters can be put in here. You can define parameters for your template. So I have defined for this page request ID, mail, and questionnaire ID. And then, of course, every action that is triggered from that page can inherit those parameters, but you'll have to define them in your action as well. So we here have mail and questionnaire ID. So we use the questionnaire ID to fetch it from the database. We check if we have found it or not. Then we get all the values from the form. We update the information in our questionnaire. So questionnaire payload, and we add some answers to it. And then we write it back to our database by using the update data form function. And then last but not least, we route to another page in our application, the questionnaire enterprise success page. So this is that. And this is a simple page containing only a title, containing a vertical list with a title again, and containing a Lottie files component, which is actually a plugin that you receive with every application that you build. And it allows you to add Lottie file and animations to your page by simply copy pasting the asset link in the asset link input field right here. So this page actually contains a simple thank you message and a simple animation. Now, first question, how did we, so now that we know that we created all those, that logic, how did we made it responsive? Because this works for every single size of screen. So that's really simple. Responsive layouts within NoCode-X are actually a piece of cake. What you can do is you can switch screen sizes, and then for each screen size, you can define the position and the size of each element on your screen. So what we did is, for example, within for tablets, we've said this size of the vertical list to 12 grid wide, while it is only 10 grid wide for bigger screens. And the position here is 0, starting from the zeros grid, and starting from the 300 pixels Y, and while it is on bigger screen, it should start from the second grid, and then it should start from 350 pixels high from the top. So you can do that for each and every element on your page. You can do it for your title, even for the elements within the vertical list. In this case, this was not necessary. So that's that. Now, that's the responsiveness. So how do we tackle the video in the background, the animation in the background? Well, there's no real element in NoCode-X that allows you to do that. So what we've done is we've used the HTML element, which actually allows you to put in a piece of HTML code, CSS code, or JavaScript code in your page. So we actually created this HTML code and we copy-pasted a video, or we created a video element, and we put it in here. And this video element actually refers to a video on our website, and with a little bit of CSS magic, we made it so that it appears on the background of your page. And we did the same for some other things. For example, we wanted to have some tracking with LinkedIn and stuff like that. So we did the same. We put it in the JavaScript. We put it in we have put a NoScript tag in there, so it will allow us to track the answers to our form. So, and that's about it. That's what we did to create this form. And now every answer that we get through this form is being written to our database, so we can actually read everything that comes in our database. So as you can see here, these are the answers to all the questions that I've just answered in the form. And I have a request ID, which of course in a real situation would be an email address, and then I can take it from there. If you now would like to do something with every single form submission that comes in, of course you can use the data format triggers. So there are the data format triggers which will allow you to execute some kind of logic every time a piece of data is created, every time a piece of data is updated, or every time a piece of data is removed. For example, if you want to message someone every time every time a form submission has come into the database, then you would probably have to create a piece of logic and link it to the action trigger called after creation of data, or maybe even after update of data. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick tour of our lead capture form that we've created by using NoCode-X. I hope this inspires you to create your own. Please, if you create your own, reach out to us on Discord. We are very, very eager to see you, to see what you're building. We're very eager to help you build whatever you need to build. So please do reach out. And if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on LinkedIn, and of course, experiment with NoCode-X. See you guys.